What's up guys, it's Micmastodon, and I'm here in this brand new TerraFirmaCraft world because I'm going to do a little bit of a walkthrough on how to get your first set of metal tools. It turns out a lot of people who've been watching my Let's Play, my TerraFirmaCraft Let's Play, are really interested in that. So I thought I'd start from scratch and show you how to get there. So first thing you're going to need to do is get some rocks and some sticks, because you're going to need to make some stone tools. Now you can find the rocks just laying on the ground. And the sticks, there's two ways to get those. You either break tree leaves, and you occasionally get a stick like there. Oh, a lot of sticks. Or sometimes you just find them laying on the ground. And I don't see any laying on the ground. I will mention that you're going to need to defend yourself and you're going to need to eat in TerraFirmaCraft. It's about survival, and you're also going to need water. But I'm not going to go into that. This is going to just be a straight one-dimensional walkthrough on how to get your first metal tools. Once you've got a good set of, I would say 10 rocks, 10 sticks, you're going to start your napping. You're going to open your napping window. And the way you do that is you have at least 2 stacked rocks on your hotbar. Right click it. That brings up your napping window. Now, for tool making, you're going to need 3 different types of stone tools. You're going to need an axe. That's an axe head. You're going to need a shovel, and a shovel is, you're just going to cut around the outside and leave one at the bottom, like that. And you're going to need a knife. And you can actually make 2 in 1 if you carve out a little T like this. You get 2. You need to craft them with the handle on them, just like that. And there you go. So you're going to need the axe head because you're going to need some logs. So I'll start chopping down some trees. And if you're new to TerraFirmaCraft, chop the bottom of the tree and the whole tree will fall, just like this. And there it goes. Grab some food while I'm here. Hello, chicken. Now, the durability of your stone tools is going to go down very quickly, so you may have to make extras. But I got 5 logs from that tree. Let's see how many I get from this one. A bunch. I got plenty of logs. Now you're going to need at least 17 logs. So I should be set for logs for now. To get straw, which you're also going to need, you just need to cut down the tall grass with a knife. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You're going to need, I think, at least 16 of these. I need clay. And the clay is often next to water, but you need to look for these flowers, these goldenrod flowers. Goldenrod. Wherever you see goldenrod, you know it's growing on clay. And clay looks like this. That's the texture for clay. And you're going to need at least 20 plus balls of clay. Go ahead and harvest as much as you can with your shovel. And I've got 40, so I have plenty now. So once you have your logs, and your clay, and your straw. Once you have those 3 things, you've got the easy stuff. The hard part is finding the ores. Now there's 2 ways to get the ores you're going to need, and you're going to need 300 units of ore. The first way is to just run around until you find some laying on the ground. Now remember, TerraFirmaCraft is difficult in that you can't make metal tools right away, and therefore you can't dig in stone. You need a pickaxe, and it has to be metal. So you're stuck searching for ores on the surface. And they will appear on the surface, just like the rocks do. But you gotta look around until you find them. Okay, here we go. Here's some ore sitting on the ground. And it's small malachite, and that's good. Malachite is one of the things we need. Now this ore is found above a vein of a substantial amount of ore. So once you have your metal tools, you're going to want to go down and looking for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark this location, because I'm going to want to come back here later and grab some of that. But for now, we need every piece we can get. I see some more down here. More malachite. And malachite is good because it's a copper ore. And copper is the primary metal that you're going to need to make your first tools. So as you're running around looking for the ores on the surface, let me give you an idea of the ores you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for copper, obviously. You're going to want some malachite, which smelts into copper, as does tetrahedrite. And copper is probably the most important. If you can find silver nuggets or gold nuggets, those will also be good. Sphalerite, which smelts into zinc. And bismuthinite, which smelts into bismuth. Those are both used for making bismuth bronze. And cassiterite, which is tin, and that's used to make regular bronze. The silver and gold you can use to make black bronze. All those are suitable for your first set of tools. But the most important and what you'll need the most of is the copper ores. So as I said, there were two ways to get your ores. That's one way. The second way is to take a log and a knife in your crafting grid and craft it into a bowl. You actually get 4. If you put one back in, you get a gold pan. Now let me show you what you can do with that. Okay, so you want to take your gold pan and your shovel down by the water. And you're going to need to get a few gravel. You don't need too many, but grab a few. And I like to take a small stack over to the shore. Place one up on the shore. Then you just need to dig out one block, enough to have a little bit of flowing water. And you're going to right click on your gravel, and then right click on the bottom of the flowing block. And what that does is it fills your gold pan with gravel, and then filters it. As you saw, every once in a while you're going to use up the whole gravel block. So that's why I have a few extras. That's why I show up with a stack, because then you could just place it and keep on going. I got a native copper nugget. Most often you'll get copper. Well, most often you get zilch, but when you get something, it's usually going to be copper. Now this isn't a fast process, but then again, neither is running around looking for ores either, so it's part of TerraFirmaCraft. It's an ongoing process to get to your first tools. I got a second nugget of copper. And you're just going to have to keep doing this until you get sick of it or until you have enough. And after you've done this enough times, it's going to tell you that there's no more panning to be done in this chunk. And all you do is just take your gravel and your shovel, your gold pan, go find another spot to do this. It's very tedious. Let me show you how to make a clay vessel. At least 5 clay on your hotbar. Right click. And just cut out the corners. You have a clay vessel. That's where you're going to put your ores. But it needs to be fired first. So here's how you make a pit kiln. Place your clay to be fired in the bottom. You're going to need 8 straw and 8 logs. So I've got more than enough. And you just right click, fill it with 8. And then right click with your logs, fill it with 8 more. And you're going to need a fire starter, so you're going to need at least two more sticks for this. and you just right click until it lights. Now you're going to have to keep an eye on that when you're smelting your ores, but for now I can just let it go until it's done, and then I'll have a fired clay vessel, and then I can put my ores in there. So I can go back to panning. Getting your ores for your first set of tools is the grindiest part of TerraFirmaCraft. Once you have your tools, there's a lot you can do. So you either look around or you gold pan until you have enough. So let me show you how much is enough. Okay, my vessel is done. So we just pop it out of there. And if you right click, you see you have 4 inventory slots in there. Let's take a look at what we're going to need in terms of ores. Now, depending on which route you go, you may only need one of these, but you may need a few if you're going to make a couple different types of metal. But let's take a look at just these native copper nuggets. If you hold shift, you'll see that it has 10 units in a single nugget. Now you need 100 units to make a tool. So let me open up this first vessel. So I have 10 units of copper, 10 nuggets of copper, which is 100, 10 small tetrahedrite, which is 100 copper, and 10 of malachite, which is also 100 copper once it's smelt. So this would be enough to make 3 tools. And you probably are going to want to make 3 tools off the bat. That's your saw, so you can cut logs into planks, your pickaxe, so that you can start cutting into rock, and the prospector's pick, which helps you find the ores. So this would be enough to make 3 copper tools. But depending on what ores you might find, you may want to go with bronze, which is 90% copper, 10% tin, which is cassiterite. So when you're dealing with the small 10 units each, you're going to go 9 to 1. Now you could put all 3 in here. You could do 27 and 3, which would be enough for 3 tools, but the proportions have to be 9 to 1. You can make bismuth bronze, which is 5 to 7 coppers, 2 to 3 zinc, which is sphalerite, and 1 to 2 bismuth. So if you have 2 bismuth, you could drop down your copper by 1, save it for another tool, and make this 2. You could do the same with the sphalerite. It's kind of up to you. And if you're doing 3 at once, then as long as this is either 1 to 2 per tool, this is 2 to 3 per tool, you should be fine. And you can also make black bronze, which is 50 to 70% copper, so 5 to 7, and 1 to 2 of either, well, 1 to 2.5 if you're making multiple tools of both gold and silver. So it has to be 10 to 25% gold and silver each, and then 50 to 70% copper. So those are your options. And what you're going to do is you're going to put them in a pit kiln along with your tool molds. And we're almost there, guys. Notice when I make up the clay forming interface, it uses 5 clay balls every time. So what are the tools you're going to want? I recommend 3 different tools to start. First one is your pickaxe. Second one is the saw. I'm going to make the saw like this. There you go, saw. And the third one is the prospector's pick. And that's just like the regular pick, but you're just going to come straight down here. And you're going to put those in a new pit kiln Add your straw and your logs, along with your metal to melt, and then you're going to light it. Now, TerraFirmaCraft keeps track of the temperature of materials. So, when this finishes, it's going to be liquid, and it will slowly cool over the course of a couple minutes. If it solidifies, you won't be able to get it out of the vessel, and you'll have to start over in terms of you'll have to start the pit kiln over again. So, you want to act relatively quickly. You want to hang around here. Don't leave it and come back after a half an hour of gameplay. Alright, let's recap because we're almost there. All we have to do is finish this and pour our tools. You need to collect your rocks and your sticks. You need to nap your rocks into 3 different stone tools: axes, shovels, and knives. You're going to need to eat along the way, as I have been. With your knives, you can get straw. With your axe, you can get logs. You're going to need those for your pit kiln. And then you're going to need your ores, whether you go straight copper, or whether you're making some kind of bismuth bronze, or black bronze, or regular bronze. You can either find that on the ground, or you can use your gold pan. Then you're going to collect your clay with the shovel. You're going to use the clay to make a vessel and your tool molds. And then you're going to fire the vessel. Then you're going to put your ore and fire your tool molds, or you can fire the tool molds in the first one. I usually like to do it all at once. You're going to need a fire starter to get it going. And then once that's done, you're ready to pour. Okay, there it is. It's done. So now if you just hold left click on them, as you can see, I have copper, 300 units. Drop in a tool mold. It's going to fill. It's going to take a few seconds. You can even shift click it back out, although it doesn't come into your hotbar, which is what I wanted. Okay, I have my 3 tool molds. Now I just drop it back into my crafting grid, and I can pull it out. 1, 2, 3. Back into my crafting grid again. Probably didn't need to leave my inventory. You are going to need sticks for this part too, so don't use all your sticks beforehand. Make sure you have enough sticks. You can never have too many sticks in this game. And there it is. I have 3 starter tools, as I consider them. And here's the beauty of the saw. I can now make planks. And with planks, I can make vanilla type planks. And then all you have to do is this. Click on your crafting grid, and you now have a crafting table with you at all times. You can make planks. They don't fall. They don't obey gravity. You can now dig into stone. And you can use the Prospector pick to look for the underground ores. And those are big. When you find a vein, you are set for a while. Doesn't matter what it is. So there you go. You have your tools. That's going to be all for this one. Maybe in another one, stay tuned. Maybe in another one I will check out how to use the Prospector pick effectively. Talk about keeping yourself from starving to death. Maybe I'll talk about how to defend yourself. But for now, I better get out of here before I get attacked. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Micmastodon. I'll see you next time. Now, don't mess it up like I just did, or you're going to lose 5 of your clay balls. Every time you enter the clay forming grid, it's going to use 5 clay balls, whether you make something or not. Make sure you have extra fire starters on hand. Don't do what I just did and run out of fire starters so you can't light it. That's not good. Alright, after death. Recording. Back. Okay, let's see how we did. Our molds. We failed.